Thank you, everyone. Welcome to Sunday. We live in perishable bodies, and we need to remember that. This body is not going to live forever. And then we have local consciousness when we are held in the body. Our ego, material ego, dominates. But when we open up the awareness to non-local awareness, and I want you to remember this term, we have local awareness when we're operating through the body and senses with the ego and thinking that we are the body, that's local consciousness. When we expand our consciousness beyond the body as we can, because our immortal soul is expansive as the universe, it's a spark of the divine fire. When we center in a deeper space inside and can expand the consciousness, we are coming into non-local consciousness. When we come into non-local consciousness, we can sense all the energies in the environment. Energy of trees, animals, nature, the earth, the planets. We are into extrasensory experience. ESP. What happens when you get there? You begin to feel the divine Kundalini with you. So although we have a human eye, an individual eye, because though we are in the human body and experiencing human consciousness, we are doing so from an individual soul awareness. So even if we come out of the body, we are still in an individual soul awareness. That's called Atma, the individual soul, in Sanskrit. But when you come into beyond individual soul awareness, you're coming into paramatma consciousness, universal soul consciousness, divine consciousness. So whilst we are in this individual consciousness and we are held karmically there, and in the play of Maya, we are individualizing the consciousness, but at the same time, we have a center where we can experience paramatma consciousness, universal consciousness. Now, in your meditation, I try to guide you there every time. I try to guide you into paramatma consciousness because you have the capability of it. And that's what freedom means. Freedom from the limitations of Atma consciousness only, and coming into paramatma awareness. That's real freedom. Not freedom from hunger and freedom from poverty and freedom from pain. No, that's limited freedom. When you come into that bigger space inside, you experience pain in the human field, but you don't identify the pain as yours. Because in the paramatmic field, there is no pain. There's only bliss. An infinite intelligence, an infinite goodness. Reason why I'm saying all of this, because sometimes we bash the ego, thinking that the ego is a detractor in the play. No, the ego is a gift in the play. But the ego needs to be transformed. Do I have an individual ego? I do, because I am in the play. But my individual ego is full of light, can harm no one. No matter if I shout at you, it's a place of a paramatmic freedom. It's only a play. In the Shiva Sutras, it is said that one of the verses, Nartaka Atma, that the Atmic consciousness that you have, individual consciousness, should be like a player. It should be in a role. The Atma is a role, individual role. But that role becomes a play in the divine consciousness of Paramatma. So it says, Nartaka Atma. Your Atma should be like a dancer on the stage. So this word co-creator means that you can feel the power of your own individual Atma. But you can feel behind that the power of infinite consciousness. And when you feel that power of infinite consciousness, you're going to feel an infinite energy coming into your space. So when we move into non-local consciousness, we begin to feel Kundalini in every action. Now, in human consciousness, we think I raise this hand. In paramatmic consciousness, I'm floating the sand, floating it from the energy space. And she's doing it with me. She's doing it with me. Do you see how my hands float in meditation? Because she is involved. Do you see how my breathing is when I'm coming out of meditation? Because she's involved. I do it with her and in her. And that is the secret to the yogic process. To do it in her and with her. To do it in non-local consciousness, not just local consciousness. That is the secret of the play. That's what co-creation is. And of course, I often give the story of the surfer, or the illustration of the surfer. When the surfer is there, the surfer is feeling the energy of the ocean, but it has to regulate its surfboard to manage that energy, to stay in balance with that energy. So the same way, when you come into the body, you can feel individual soul power, ego power. You can feel it. But how do you align that to divine energy? How can you align that to paramatmic energy, non-local consciousness? How can you align it? Because when you align it, you feel awesome power behind you. And if you're really in true alignment, you'll have intuitive power as well, from infinite intelligence guiding you as to how to use your power. I never do things out of my own will, but from the will of the divine. The Christ said it, I do nothing without the will of my Father. So we should do nothing without a will of her, infinite consciousness. And that's what this human experience is about. It's conscious co-creation with the divine energy. Because we are in unconscious co-creation. When the ego is working, it's divine energy at work, but we are unconscious that it's divine. We think it's human. Human ego is operating. When we come into non-local consciousness, we know and we work with her. We move no limb if she's not involved. That is the consciousness I strive to guide you in. Paramatmic consciousness, non-local consciousness. Because then you feel life is flow, that life is joy. Does this make sense to you? Does this make sense to you? You know, I could tell you this story every day because I live in it. And my joy is when you begin to live in it. When I see you begin to grow in it, I feel happy. I feel pleased that my world is catching it. When I caught this in 1978, oh my God, it was what I was seeking for. I felt so fulfilled. I didn't care to guide anyone or teach anyone. I was so happy in myself. But I knew that I was born to be a guide. And that was my duty. But it took me months before I could come into the field. And then I didn't care anymore about helping people because I thought, let me educate myself more in the world. Let me go into the material world and let me master it from the energetic space, because I will feel incomplete. So I took that awareness in the world. I continued my academic education. I got into the working world. And it was a tremendous joy to master the secular world from this space. That's a joy that I have in me, that I have fulfilled in this lifetime. To live in both worlds, the spiritual and to understand it, and the secular and master it. And that's what I inspire Blue Star people to do. Don't lose the joy of the play. Be involved in the play. But where you're centered is extremely important. I enjoy being on this planet. It's a dark yuga, but I enjoy being here because I can fill myself in the light and stay in the light. I pray that you will walk with me in this walk. And you will invoke that powerful light within you. And you will walk this walk with divine alignment, not the alignment of your egos. Let's come together and let's be in the we consciousness, not the I consciousness, but the we consciousness. You must feel I in we. That's what the world needs. And I pray that we'll all live up to that purpose of making the world a better place because we have lived in it. So that's my talk for today. So have a blessed Sunday, everyone. We can make it so. Don't let things happen, make things happen. Conscious co-creation with the universe. Have a blessed day, everyone. Namaskar.